Welcome to the Coral Castle. My name is Ed. Ed lives down there. I created Coral Castle, excuse me. I will be your host on this audio tour of my life and work. Quite a sight, isn't it? You should have been here in '36 when I moved from Florida City. But wait, let me start at the beginning. I was born in Lativa near Riga in 1887. Then, in 1912, Cupid's arrow found its mark. My Agnes was 10 years younger than me, but I was so smitten by her charm I failed to see the danger. The night before our wedding, she left me, claiming I was too old and too poor. In 1912, I arrived in New York alone and worked my way across North America as a logger, mason, and ranch hand. Finally, for health reasons, I moved to Florida City, 10 miles south of here. In 1923, I bought 1 acre of land for $12. Since I had no job at the time, I decided to use my skills as a mason and create a rock garden. With the memories of Agnes and my lost family still in my mind, I worked almost non-stop to make fixtures and furniture from the stone under my feet. After a short while, my neighbor's curiosity got the best of them, and soon I was giving tours of my evenings for 10 cents. Life was good, and I was happy, until civilization moved in around me. I decided that since I was happy working on and showing my rock garden, and since it was inevitable it would always be around me, why not make it
I'll check her down away.
Unfortunately, that one. This one's about to get run. Yeah, it's moving slower now, but it's still moving. You push. You just push 6,000 pounds.
6,000 pounds. Where's the famous Tucson North? Alright.
Now, Ed built 2 parks. The first park he constructed was in the early 1950s, 10 miles southwest in Florida City. Started 1920, finished around 1928. And in 1936, he took it apart and moved some pieces from there to here. And you see this type of rock, which we named sedimentary, was in layers and waves and very smooth. He took this part height from Florida City. One of you is more rough and coarse. This type we call sponge, and this one he got from this property itself. So whenever you see smooth and layered, Florida City, rough and coarse, this property. 20,000 years ago, south part of Florida was underwater, so it's one giant coral reef. 13,000 years ago, the water receded, the coral fossilized and turned to oolitic limestone, oolite for short. So this fossilized coral, so it's more dense and heavy. Any questions?
Where's the other property?
The other property was 10 miles southwest of Florida City. He basically, after he died, back taxes and someone else owns it now.
Okay.
This piece weighs around 3 tons. It's perfectly balanced on a Model T axle. It's been there since 1936 and can rotate in a full 360 both ways. Little miss, can you push this for me again? Anyway, anyone who's small, push. Any small person, push me. Come on! Really stuck?
She's little.
You do it. There we go. 6,000 pounds. 6,000 pounds easily moved around.
Wow.
Well, somewhat easy. Unfortunately, it needed more oil. So I'll be pouring the oil. This big guy. Again. Any questions? Any curiosities? I'll give you some side notes.
Why did he build all this just for the one he loved if she died?
Oh, the story goes, this is when he's told. He said when he was 26 years old, he met a girl who he only named to his close friends and his visitors, Sweet 16. He never said her name, not once. The night before the wedding, Sweet 16 tells Ed, I'm sorry, just too poor, just too old. We cannot get married. Later on, about a day later, he just leaves Latvia with a broken heart, traveling around Eastern and Western Europe, landing at Ellis Island. From Ellis Island, he went to Canada. From Canada, stood for a while working as a logger. From Canada, went down to Rocky Mountains. Rockies, he worked as a stonemason. From the Rockies, went down to Texas. Texas, he worked as a cowboy or ranch hand, as they say. From Texas, went to New York City. In New York City, he worked as a desk clerk. Somewhere between Texas and New York City, he contracted the disease called tuberculosis. The remedy for TB was sunbathing. Sunbathing in warm, open, dry, arid air, or sometimes moist air, depending on the TB. So he came down to Florida to sunbathe and apparently get better from tuberculosis. Any questions? It did. He died in 1951 at the age of 64. They thought tuberculosis took its course and found out he had no TB with an autopsy. With tuberculosis, typically you have trace amount in your body and sometimes scar tissues in his lungs. Two doctors, the one in New York City, one in Florida, both diagnosed him with the final stages of TB, meaning he was about to die. But apparently survived it, or actually had no trace amounts, which is impossible. So either he was misdiagnosed, but others would say, well, his remedy was sunbathing, well, not sunbathing, sunbathing and also absorbing the natural magnetic field, which he built his first and second pump on top of.
So did he die?
Stomach cancer, liver failure, malnutrition, and finally a stroke.
Wow.
Very bad.
Ask your question.
I know. I want to too.
Any questions, any theories?
Yeah, I heard the metal in the big door. I don't know, I don't see it here. There's some big door. Yeah. When that busted, they said there was a metal in there that wasn't like, they couldn't determine what metal it was.
The metal was actually the mortar, the cement. The cement, they theorized it was either local rock or rock he got from somewhere else and mixed it with the local rock. Because typical cement doesn't last for 50 years. And it was supporting 18,000 pounds for 50 years.
Wasn't there a piece of metal that broke though?
It was his original truck axle that snapped in half and broke with wall.
Oh, alright.
But the one that was unidentified or inconclusive was the mortar.
Okay. Cool.
This turns.
Give it a push. 6,000 pounds. It revolves in a full 360 both ways. 3 tons.
Did Sweet 16 ever see this?
The whole 360 story, some would say it's not real because one, he never said her name not once. Kind of odd. On top of that, we found out recently that he was raised by his grandfather. His grandfather owned and ran his own stone masonry company in Latvia and was quite wealthy. So the whole poor part out the window. The age difference in Latvia in that day and age wasn't a big deal. In most cases, 30-year-old men to 13-year-old wives. So age difference out the window. The whole love story holds very little water. In the 1970s, National Geographic found a woman named Agnes Scuffs. Latvians would say, well, Agnes Scuffs, first of all, is not a Latvian name. So when the National Geo asked Agnes for an interview, she simply told them no, given no reason. She just said no. So we're not too quite sure if this Agnes Scuffs was 316. Later on, they found that her name actually could have been Hermione, which is a Latvian name. Hermione unfortunately was dead of it. So we're not too quite sure who 316 was real or fake or who she was.
Why do they think that was Agnes?
Because it's the first thing they found was Agnes.
Found where?
National Geographic found an investigation. They went to Latvia asking questions. Some paper trails they led to Agnes Scuffs, but she never actually admitted to be 316 as far as we know. So,
But all this was made with no heavy equipment, right? Just
none whatsoever. It only took them 5 years.
you use the electromagnetic fields or whatever.